So I've really been enjoying the presentation so far. As Enrique said, I'm going to build off nicely the some of the comments we've heard so far. Particularly, really going to emphasize the incredible and still increasing power of satellites for the conservation of tropical forests and the Amazon. Specifically, we at Amazon Conservation, together with our colleagues and our sister organization in Peru, we've really been working towards advancing the field of real-time, satellite-based real-time monitoring. So the big breakthrough that we really want to emphasize is we now have this unprecedented ability, thanks to satellites, to see across the most vast and remote tracts of the Amazon in real time, and then take that cutting edge information and try to convert it to policy action. As Enrique noted, I'm going to first talk about the MOP program and then hand it off to my colleague Sydney coming in from Peru. So MOP is our Amazon Conservation's real-time monitoring program, launched in 2015, so a little over than 5 years old now. We initially focused on real-time deforestation monitoring, and most recently have been getting into real-time degradation monitoring, and in this case, talking about logging and real-time fire monitoring. So these are the three pillars of MOP currently. And I'm going to quickly go through each of these three major components. So for deforestation, this is our core work, bread and butter work, if you will. We have a basic three-part methodology with the ultimate goal of achieving conservation action. And so I've been appreciating the remarks thus far, because we definitely have a major focus on how do you link the technology with the policy. So to quickly just run through just how we're working to do that, basically combining technologies. It starts with early warning alerts. These are based on Landsat imagery, 30-meter resolution. These are early warning forest loss alerts. Again, based on pixel differences between the latest Landsat images. And they basically come up with like pixels on the screen like this. And these are developed by the University of Maryland and presented on Global Forest Watch. And so we really spend a lot of time analyzing these alerts and really trying to prioritize and identify the most urgent of the alerts. So for these identified urgent alerts, we then zoom in on the high resolution imagery. And our real go-to tool recently has been Planet. And so Planet has been our secret weapon, but now, as we've heard from Henrik, the remarkable agreement that this type of imagery, at least the monthly base maps, are going to be available for anyone. So you can see the power of Planet 3-meter resolution, the ability to basically take these pixels, these early warning alerts, and in this case, confirm that it's illegal gold mining deforestation in the southern Peruvian Amazon. And then we take these these urgent alerts that we've confirmed in the high resolution imagery, and then quickly try to get reports out there. And so we have two types of reports. We have the public MOP reports that hopefully a lot of you have seen, but we also have a line of confidential reports that we send directly to governments. In this case, the Peruvian government. We quickly write this up, send a confidential report. And in this case, shortly thereafter, there was a major raid on this site, taking down a lot of the illegal mining installations. So this is like the real formula that we're looking for in terms of combining the cutting edge technology, reporting on it, and then ultimately achieving conservation action. Now, for degradation, as I mentioned, this is a newer line of work. Now, degradation is a challenge in the Amazon as I say degradation here, I'm really talking about logging and the selective logging of high value species. Now, the big challenge is even with the high resolution imagery, the 3-meter resolution, you cannot see this type of logging. For this, you need the very high resolution imagery, sub-meter, 50 centimeters, to actually get into to see illegal logging with satellites. So the big breakthrough that we're experiencing now, particularly with our work, is the ability to task very high resolution satellites. So for example, here, the planets line of a growing constellation of very high resolution SkySats. So we have this new ability to basically send these powerful satellites to precise coordinates that we've identified of suspected illegal activity, such as illegal logging, and obtain images such as this. So again, this is 50 centimeters. And you can see the power of the imagery where you can actually get down to the level of an actual cut tree. You can see logging camps, you can see a cut tree like this. So we're really piloting this line of work of how to get this type of information to policymakers to really do something that's never been done before, which is try to react to illegal logging in real time. Because typically most illegal logging is identified way too late with a boat or a truck that's been stopped with illegal wood. So really trying to use this satellite technology to try to really kind of come up with a new line of work of real-time logging monitoring. And finally, with fires, we really first started getting into fires last year and really doubled down with that work this year. Some major satellite advances going on as well. So on your screen, you see two satellite-based images, both from the same day this year. So very recent, September 13th of this year. On the left is the traditional, commonly used heat-based satellite alerts. You can see with these alerts, these are the kind of alerts that went viral last year. It's good data, good historical data, but they also tend to give the misleading impression that the entire Amazon is burning down. What we've really been focused on is a new satellite, Sentinel-5 satellite from the European Space Agency, which is detecting a different type of data. Instead of heat anomalies, it's focused on aerosol emissions. So that's basically the smoke coming off of the fire. So the great thing about aerosol is the emissions are directly related to the amount of biomass being burned. So in other words, we now have a way to filter out the hundreds and thousands of smaller fires and just focus on what we call major fires, those burning a lot of biomass. So you can see here in the right, we can actually, taking the hundreds and thousands of alerts, we can actually see where the major fires are actually concentrated in the southeast Brazilian Amazon and adjacent Pantanal. So again, we really demonstrated the power of this data this year. And we really hope there's a much greater uptake of this type of aerosol-based information next year by civil society and government. So to recap, MOP, real-time monitoring with the real goal of linking technology and policy, as we've heard Manuel set up, that's really our goal, working in these three main pillars of deforestation, degradation, and fire.